with Jessica, and today I have my 2014 makeup favorites, and this video is focused on just eye products. We've got eyeshadows, mascara, etc. So let's go ahead and dig right in. The first favorite, I'm going to start with eyeshadows. This is a palette that I kind of had a love-hate relationship with for a while because I had bought it based on someone on YouTube, I don't remember who it was, but someone on YouTube had talked about it in a video. I'm like, oh, that looks beautiful, right up my alley, so I bought it. And then I never used it because, you know, I have like 1,000 palettes and 1,000 other things. So it just kind of got glossed over and I never really used it. And when I finally started to use it, I was so mad at myself for not using it all this time because it is amazing. And now, since then, I've traveled with it a lot too. It is the Maybelline Quad, and it's in the shade Mocha Motion. And it is filled with 4 different shadows that are the perfect combination together for just a natural, everyday look. You can really make it look smoky with this darker color, but I typically just stick to these 3 and then use the darker for just like maybe lower lash line liner, maybe a little bit of like an outer corner, but these are beautiful together. It is the ultimate travel palette because it's got everything you need. It's got a shimmery color there, it's got a perfect buffer color there, the matte lighter color that would work on your lid, on your brow bone to mix them all together, and then this darker one to do everything else in between with. It is so amazing, so inexpensive, and man, it's like one of the only drugstore palettes over the years that I've kept too, because a lot of them I get rid of after I tried them. If I'm like, you know what, it's nothing special, I'll pass them on. And this one I have held on to because I really genuinely love it. Next favorite is a single shadow that is my favorite shadow for getting that look right in between. I didn't use it today though. And it is the MAC Single Shadow in Omega, and it's this one right here. And it's just this really light taupey gray color. A lot of people use it for their brows. I do not, but it's just the perfect buffer color. You can use it, you can be real messy with it and get it all in your crease, all the way up to there, and it just will transform any eyeshadow look into something that looks kind of amateur to something that looks really professional because you've got that middle ground between all of your darker shadows, your lighter shadows. It is amazing. It really is. If you're gonna buy one MAC shadow, let it be Omega because you will not go back. It is amazing. When I run out of this, I will buy it again. I mean, it is absolutely a staple in my collection. I'm so glad that I own it. Another favorite is another drugstore one, and this is a pigment, if you will, or a loose eyeshadow, and it's the L'Oreal Infallible Eyeshadow in Amber Rush. And this one I think was sent to me by a subscriber, and it sat in my collection for quite a while because I wasn't really sure how I wanted to use it, and I had tried it a few ways and I didn't completely love it. Since then, I've been using it a lot on my lid and kind of like in between the crease and just all over the place, and it's just so beautiful. And now that I've really given it some love, I've realized like, oh my gosh, like this is one of the best products I've ever used. It lasts all day, it doesn't look weird and smudgy, it doesn't like skip. Gosh, it is gorgeous. And I think it is my favorite out of all of the Infallible shadows that I own. And over the years, I have owned quite a lot of them. I've pared it down a lot, but I love it. A favorite palette for this entire year, it was really hard because I've got my Naked palettes that I love, and I've got some palettes from the Balm that I love, some Starlux palettes that I love, but this one I think is one of my favorite travel palettes, and it's not the Lorac Pro. I know what you're thinking, but I don't think I've had that long enough to really decide. This one is the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette, and they repackaged it so some people have like the older one that's not, I think it's like more like a paper cardboard, not the metal. But I love this packaging. It's this really nice metal, and it's magnetic, and there's a mirror there, but it also comes with these instructions. And it's got these 9 shadows that are absolutely stunning. They have 4 matte and 5 shimmery, and it literally has everything you could ever need for a natural eye. And then they've got like some really amazing shimmery colors to really glam it up. And here, let me get a few swatches for you guys. Yeah, they're crazy. They are absolutely gorgeously crazy. And what is so cool about it is that it's so perfect for travel because it's got everything. There's not a single, it's got like this matte color for a buffer, it's got that for a matte like brow bone, it's got these darker mattes for anything else you might need, lining, and then all these really fun shimmery colors. I mean, it is the ultimate. I'm getting excited just talking about it because it's so good, and the more I look at it, the more I use it, the more I realize how amazing of a palette this is. And I feel like it doesn't get enough love. I mean, a lot of people talk about it, but not in the way that like the Naked palettes are talked about. And I think this one is absolutely amazing, and it's a little bit cheaper than the Naked palettes. And honestly, it's like prettier than the Naked palettes too. Isn't that adorable? Oh, it's gorgeous. Another eye favorite is my favorite eye primer or cream shadow, because I use them in the same way. And I just picked one because this is the one that I genuinely use every single day without fail. And it is the MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. This is another thing where if you're gonna buy 1 or 2 MAC products, this should be one of them, because unless you've got a way darker skin tone, but I just mean the paint pots in general. And finding one that would be good for your skin tone to put as a base, like a matte base under your eyeshadow look. Whether you're doing a shimmery look or a matte look, I think it's best to start with a matte base to begin, because it just, like for me, I've got like veining you'd be able to see and all kinds of just different pigmentation on my eyelids, and this makes it a blank slate. So then I can do whatever I want. Then I could put a shimmery paint pot on top of it, etc. But starting it with like a naked base, if you will, is ideal. And this one is just so perfect. They're so creamy. It's lasted me forever. I feel like I've been using it every single day for a very long time, and it's still going strong. But again, these are ones, I think I ended up buying this one at a cosmetics company outlet where you can get them for really cheap, like at an outlet mall. So they are a lot cheaper than they would be, but regardless, it's worth every penny. Really, truly. I like the Maybelline Color Tattoos, but they're not quite the same consistency as this, and for just your base, I really recommend Painterly. I think it is amazing. The next product I'm going to talk about is brows, because I get a lot of questions about them, because if you look at my older videos, my brows have changed. They're still my brows, but I've gotten better at doing them. But not only that, but I found better products. And this one is the one that I've repurchased like 3 or 4 times, and I will probably always repurchase. And it's the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I use medium brown, which I think used to be medium ash or something like that. But it's got the pencil, the retractable like pencil, if you will, on one side, and then a really thick, small spoolie on the other to brush through. And I was talking with one of my best friends, Emily, about brows the other day at dinner, and I was just talking about this product and how even if you are missing some brows, like I technically from like here to here, or I can't really tell on the viewfinder, have like very few hairs there, and I think most people do. But this really fills in the gaps, and it looks so much more natural than any other product or any powder that I've ever used. And I think it's because not only the formula, but the spoolie brushes through and pulls the color through evenly, but it doesn't just completely make it disappear like a lot do. I love this so much. Again, worth every penny. They last me a long time. Like I feel like one brush lasts me like 6 months. 2 more things. So liner, my favorite liner. I was gonna pick like a pencil liner, that's my favorite, and a liquid and a cream, but I was like, you know what? Out of all of these, this is my favorite, and it's one that I've, again, repurchased a lot. This is the Jordana Fabuliner. They're like $2 at Walgreens or wherever you can find Jordana, and it's just a felt tip brush. And if you're one that feels really intimidated by liquid liners, which this is a liquid liner, this is an amazing one because you can get really, really thick lines, medium, thin, and because it's not a brush and it's a felt tip and it's really kind of firm, and when you it doesn't really bend too much, you've got a lot of control. It literally feels like you're just drawing. You know what I mean? It is really, truly an amazing product for the price. What I have noticed about these is when I first buy them, I open it and use it a few times, and then I let it sit for a while because it almost doesn't get to the amazing consistency until it's like dried out for a month. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but that's been my experience. But it's only a couple dollars, it's worth it. And I forgot what I was gonna say. Regardless, I love this liner. Plus with that liner, like it lasts me, like that one I've had for like over a year and it's still kicking. So I don't know what it is about it, and I don't know how much longer it's gonna last. Eventually it'll probably go bad and I'll just need to get rid of it, but regardless, they last forever. It's like it never runs out, even when you're using it every day, so that's pretty amazing. My last eye product is my favorite mascara, and this is one that for like 6 years I have loved, and then I'll try something else, and I won't have it in my collection anymore. And then after a while I'll try a few mascaras, and then I'm like, so I go back to this, and then I'm like, yes, my lashes are back. I feel like I've never found a mascara that does as well of a job as this one does, and it's the L'Oreal Voluminous, just the original. I don't really get the carbon black. I just get it in Blackest Black. Not waterproof, although for my wedding I will certainly need to get some waterproof, at least for my lower lashes. But it's just got a big old brush. It's not the plasticky kind, so I really like that. And this is another one that it does its best after about 2 weeks of kind of drying out a little bit more, which I think a lot of mascaras are that way. But regardless, I still use it straight out of the tube. It is amazing. It holds the curl. It can get clumpy if you're kind of sloppy with it, but if you know how to use it and you get used to it, you're gonna love it. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I don't know what I would do without this mascara. So those are all of my eye favorites for this year. If you're interested in seeing my lip and brush favorites, or also all of my face, like blush and things like that, those favorites, check below for the links to those other 2 videos. And if they're not up yet, just subscribe so you can catch them when they are up. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye. For blush, I had 2 favorites and I could not decide between them 2, and I justified having 2 because one is a cream and one is a powder, and one is drugstore and the other is not. So there we go. The first one that I love is the NYX Cream Blush in Boho Chic. It's just this gorgeous, light, pale pink, and if you've got fair skin like I do, it absolutely illuminates your cheeks. You don't need a highlight with it. It almost gives this, I don't want to say wet look,